Have you reached the end of the month or even the end of the year and thought, man, I didn't hit anything I wanted to do? Well, you're not alone. I was reading 92% of people do not achieve their New Year's resolutions or are really successful at creating goals and hitting their goals. So like, what can you do about it? Because you want to achieve what you dream of doing. Let's talk about what's been working for me. Hi, I'm Morgane F., the host of Young Black Misses, and in this episode, we're talking all about dreaming big.
Shaking my curls. I'm shaking my curls.
Shaking my curls. Now, as it pertains to not hitting your goals, I think the biggest thing I'm going to shake my curls at in their fun state today is unrealistic goals. And that could mean a lot of things for a lot of people. For me, an unrealistic goal is just thinking I'm going to be able to have so much free time with a near 2-year-old. Like, it's just not going to happen. And I feel like that's part of the reason why people do not hit their goals. It's just too lawful. It's too unreasonable. But I'm also wondering, this thought of being so hard on ourselves or being so disappointed when we don't hit these goals, when we don't feel productive at the end of the year, the month, the quarter, whatever. What does that say about us as a society? I was telling my husband, I was talking to my husband in conversation and saying, humans are the only being that has to pay to be here. The animals don't have to pay. Some may say they pay their life, pay with their life, I guess. But when a child is born, they are eventually expected to come into society and pay their taxes, pay their dues for real. And nothing's free, nothing. And I feel like when we're thinking about the unsuccess of goal setting, it can kind of fall back into that thought process, which is for a longer conversation. But it just got me thinking, we are on this earth with all the other beings. Well, we as humans are paying our dues and our taxes and our groceries and our light bill and our electric and our mortgage and rent, etc., etc. And so knowing that you have to put food on the table, you have to pay for things, it does, if you have goals outside of work, if you have personal goals and you are working a typical job, it makes it a lot harder to be able to hit goals. It makes it a lot harder to be able to dream of something and actually get that to fruition. So I'm shaking my curls at that. Let's go on to the next segment. So we're going to dream big, no matter what time of year you're watching this or what season. Dreaming big is a luxury at times, but it's also so fun. And I feel like a lot of times people set goals that may either be something for physical or a monetary gain, like getting a new job, or physical, like you're losing weight or getting back into shape. A lot of my goals as of late have strictly been personal development. I'm trying to get better mentally, spiritually, you know what I'm saying? And when I start to dream big, I can't drop my faith out of that, When I start to dream big and allow God to lead me into what my purpose and the purpose He has for me in this life is, I'm realizing there are 3 things that I hold so tightly to. The first one is being realistic. Being realistic with what I can and cannot do in the 24 hours I have in this day. I would love to do a myriad of things, but can I realistically get that done knowing I A, have to work, B, I have to be a mother, C, I have to cook and clean, all the way down to XYZ, is that realistic to think, I'm going to whatever? Maybe, and maybe not. I feel like there's you can have a lot going on in your life and you can hit a lot of those benchmarks and still be productive or whatever. But I simply do not believe you can do all the things. Something gonna fall. Something, yeah, I mean, you can juggle, but baby, the ball gonna drop. So being realistic with your goals is something that is the first thing that I'm learning. Case in point. Now, I'm looking at this piano. I've been trying to learn this piano for like 2 years now. And I keep teetering back my goal. Because I'm like, I want to learn a Christmas song. So I learned a Christmas song. Silent Night. I learned to play Silent Night. Now, I wanted to play it like both handed, the melody. I just learned the melody. And I played the melody and I sent it out to my family and friends. And they were like, oh, great. You sound great. Perfect. Not check off the list, but like knowing the preparation to get to the level where I could just easily just look at the notes, because I had spent a while learning fingering, I'm not the best at that, but like learning some musicality, learning the scales, learning how to, use proper fingering so that I could play the notes, understanding where the notes are to be able to read a sheet of music, that kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, I'm not getting there with both hands. Let me just play the melody with a background track. And I want to continue to really hone in on my skills. I found another piece of software to be able to keep moving me forward in piano playing. Don't come for me in the comments about my piano playing. I am still learning, and if you are listening, be nice. Thank you. So that's one, being really realistic with those goals, being really realistic with what I can and cannot do in the 24 hours that I have in this earth, like each day, and the 7 days a week that I'm given. Thank you. Number 2, an accountability partner. Oh my goodness. And that doesn't need to be someone that you sit there and you follow up with. I was doing like a personal coach, or what is she called? Like, I don't know, like a health coach or something like that, like a health coach. Sometimes they may offer it through your insurance or at your job. And so I had a coach that I would speak to maybe 10 or 15 minutes. We would talk about goals. We would talk about just how I was feeling mentally, whatever the case, stress with work. And she was keeping me very accountable. It was her job to do such thing, but she was keeping me very accountable for 9 months or something like that. And like, especially, I started talking to her upon my return because I didn't know anything about the service. And I saw it one day and I said, cool, sign me up. Yeah, health coach. Amazing. Why not? But if that's not available to you, a trusted friend or someone that's like-minded, and the way you can tell this person what you're trying to do, and you say, hey, can you put in your calendar to just check in on me in a month about how that's going? And like, make it actionable for them too. Be like, okay, yeah, I put in my calendar. I'll just follow up with you. I'll text you and see how that's going. Some people can just naturally, curiously want to check in on you, and that's cool. But like, an accountability person is somebody that's not like, we hitting these things. We're doing the thing because we made a realistic goal, and now I'm checking in on you. And I imagine there's probably a slew of Facebook groups you can join with like-minded people that can also be your accountability coach. I know, and like financy kind of stuff, making sure you're hitting those financial goals, that kind of thing, that's available to you. But from what I have seen, when I have someone that I like, that health coach that was checking in on your girl, that was really propelling me to hit things and being like, oh, she's gonna call me back, and honestly, even if you're going to therapy and you're like working on things, that's in a way kind of accountability. But just someone in your life that can be like, hey, I'm trying to do this, keep me accountable. Put in your calendar, keep me accountable. Check in that I did X, Y, Z, Z, Y, X, right? That's 2. And lastly, and this is kind of a caveat into, you can be your own accountability partner, but ultimately you have to have systems in place to actually propel yourself to hit those goals. My system in place is not some catchy app or some cool notebook. No, it is taking those mini goals or mini action steps to help me propel the ultimate goal. So I'm going to kind of go back to the piano component, right? Ultimately, I want to play and feel comfortable playing a few songs in public and feeling comfortable on both hands. But I started that out, and again, don't come from me with my language of understanding this. I started out on an app. Then I purchased a class, and between the app, which really helped me understand some fundamentals, and the class also kind of tailored into the fundamentals. But then I kind of like the gamification of this other software that I'm using now, and that has more music that I can just play. So building my understanding of scales and charts and how to read music and finger placement and knowing how to, play my like the notes and being able to locate the notes, that has helped me maybe hit part 1.5. But still haven't quite reached that goal of being able to play a few songs by memory, which I think is just going to happen over time, right? But the gamification of it kept me practicing 10 minutes a day, which continued to make me better. And that's always what we hope for. But in another stance, when I was thinking about trying to cultivate more friendships, I took it very simple. First, reaching out to friendships that I kind of fell off. I had a kid. I just want to reconnect with some people. Then kind of moving those friendly conversation, friendly text, friendly the voice, whatever's, and moving that forward into hanging out, going to meet up with them, reconnecting, going out to dinner, going to do, whatever, meeting IRL, to just being able to continue progressing with that bond. And those little step-by-steps can also be broken out in a month-to-month, bi-quarterly kind of goal. That way that you're able to say, okay, here's the ultimate goal: playing the piano, having a new friend, whatever the case, XYZ, enter your dream, enter your goal, whatever the case it may be. Then think, okay, what are the steps that I need to do to hit said goal? So by allowing myself to make action steps, have an accountability partner, and also making realistic goals, it's really opened up my ability to be at the end of the year, be at the end of the month and go, hey, I did that. Every year I write myself a note. In the past couple of years, I've actually started making it like, this is what I hope that you've done. This is what I hope that you've done. And I realized a lot of things are out of my control, like having a family, for a person that deals with infertility kind of stuff, it's kind of like, okay. And so that was a goal for a while. I have a kid now, so yay. But for a while, I was like, oh, that was all I was thinking about. And in actuality, what I could do, make sure I'm the healthiest person, make sure I speak it with my doctors and infertility and understanding the best ways to treat that. And I ended up going through traditional Chinese medicine route, but I was taking those steps unknowingly to hit a goal, but also God's timing is everything. That might not be the best example, but I think you're understanding. There's only but so much that you can control. So what you can control, do so. You can control what's realistically capable for you to do. You can control having someone follow up with you or something, no judgment. And you can control the actions and the steps you take to hit that goal. If you gain value from this conversation, this episode, please share with a friend. You can find me on social media at Young Black Mrs. on Instagram and the Tick of the Talk. And I hope you like these little shorter of episodes, just to kind of give you a little quicks and help you stay encouraged in these unique times. And I'm hoping that you find connection and you do dream big And this time next year, you look back and go, okay, me, I did that. Because you can. All right, y'all. Until next time. Peace.